Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to waste a lot of time. If you remember, we did a challenge on Pokemon Red where we could only use the weakest possible moves in the game. In Generation 1, those were Constrict and Poison Sting. Poison Sting due to the fact that Constrict couldn't hit Ghost types. Now, due to the fact that Pokemon in Generation 2 can actually use Struggle, unlike Generation 1, we're going to spend hundreds of hours attempting to beat Pokemon Crystal with only Constrict, the weakest move in the game. Let's compare it to Tackle. Tackle has 4 times the power Constrict has, so this challenge should be 4 times harder than my Tackle-only challenges, right? Let's find out. Here is a list of Pokemon that can learn Constrict in Generation 2 via leveling up. It's a pretty good looking group. I have to pick a starter amongst them. I decide on Omanyte, mainly due to the fact that I can acquire the rest of the Pokemon legitimately throughout the game. We run into Silver. Even though this is a battle I'm allowed to lose, I'm competitive. We set the tone with an emphatic victory that takes about 5 minutes. The Sprout Tower is very scary because everything uses Vine Whip, so we're off to face Faulkner instead. His Pidgey knows Mud Slap. Not good for us. We level up a bit and return. Accuracy, however, is still an issue. In fact, we actually have to catch a Pidgey for Faulkner. Although Pidgey can't use Constrict, it's only needed to reset Omanyte's accuracy reduction. The plan works well, and we sneak home with our first badge. Our hero is deposited in the box, and we celebrate by getting revenge on those pesky level 3 Bellsprouts. Let's just take a second to really witness how weak Constrict is. Here is level 5 Magikarp against a level 20 Omanyte. Guess how much damage Constrict does? A, about half, B, 1-hit KOs, or C, 1/3. If you chose C, you are correct. It is seriously that bad. The level 14 Coughing and the Slowpoke well managed to poison us and defeat us. Without being poisoned, we managed to win in our next attempt. And now we encounter a fairly difficult section of the run. We have to defeat the rival who has a Ghastly, and we also have to defeat Bugsy. Bugsy is difficult because his Scyther knows Fury Cutter, and as Constrict is weak, it takes up a lot of moves. Fury Cutter gets stronger with every consecutive use. So for the Ghastly problem, we're going to catch some Rattata. The plan is for Ghastly to struggle itself, as the recoil damage in Generation 2 is based on the damage actually dealt by Struggle. So we need 5 Rattata. I attempt the battle here with 2 and it doesn't go too well. Ghastly is able to be defeated with the 2 Rattata, however, Omanyte isn't strong enough to take on the Bayleaf that knows Razor Leaf, so we go and grind a lot. So much to the point that Omanyte becomes level 40 and evolves into Omastar. With Omastar, we're able to defeat Bugsy's Scyther and then struggle our way through the battle with Silver. In the event that Silver's Bayleaf doesn't land Poison Powder or more than 2 critical hits with Razor Leaf, we win. I catch a Sandshrew to cut the tree in the Ilex Forest, and we go and defeat Whitney with ease. Before battling with Silver again in the Burnt Tower, I take a detour to Olivine City. We say hello to Mr. Fisherman, who gives us a good rod, and go and catch ourselves the official second member of the team, a Tentacle. We evolve Tentacle into Tentacruel, and I finally battle Silver. Thankfully, his Haunter now knows Curse, which makes this battle fairly simple. I decide that our valiant Kamikaze Rattatas need an upgrade. I catch a Miltank, a Raticate, a Tauros, and a Stantler in preparation for Morty. And then I encounter a wild Chinchou. Now, Morty's Gengar is the biggest threat to my team. Not only does it not know Curse, and must faint via Struggle, but it also has Hypnosis and Dream Eater, which you can imagine are extremely dangerous. Chinchou paralyzes my entire team so that they can't fall asleep in battle with Morty and thus give Gengar the ability to heal itself. With the whole team paralyzed, we're ready to go. Another problem with Morty is that 75% of his Pokemon know Mean Look. Now typically I would switch out and ensure that I don't use a move that isn't Constrict, however Mean Look obviously prevents this. Now if you're a regular, you probably know my typical restrictions, but these ones had some specific wording. The specific wording is to ensure that I can use Tackle and Tail Whip in this battle. Tackle has the same effect as Constrict, which is none, and Tail Whip doesn't actually affect the battle in any way other than having Haunter mimic it and lower my own Pokemon's defense. Haunter's defense being lowered doesn't change the recoil damage that Struggle deals to itself, and Raticade's defense being lowered speeds up it eventually being knocked out. So technically, no attacks effectively land in this battle to help us win it. Tackle deals 0 damage, Constrict deals 0 damage, and Tail Whip only hinders us. With the plan in action, Ghastly and the first Haunter curse themselves out, whilst the second Haunter and Gengar struggle themselves out, and we win the battle and get our Fog Badge. We make a small addition to the team in the form of a Spinarak. We deposit our valiant soldiers in the box and defeat the Kimono Girls to get the HM for Surf. Spinarak evolves into Ariados, which is the best attacker in our team by far, and we defeat Chuck, Team Rocket, and Price. I go back and get the free Shuckle, as it can also use Constrict, although not very well with Shuckle's horrendous 10 base attack. Jasmine, as you can imagine, is a nightmare. I think I almost cried when her final Magnemite was left on 1 health. Our entire team of level 70s finally manages to defeat her team of level 30s. We welcome Miltank and Tauros back into the team for our battle against Silver, which we win. We then clear out the radio tower and acquire an extremely valuable item, the Pink Bow. The Pink Bow increases the power of normal type moves, which Constrict is. Miltank and Tauros are once again thanked for their service with a deposit to the PC, and we catch a new member of the team, Tangela. We defeat Claire a lot easier than I thought that we would and cross the border into Kanto. However, I forget that the Silver Battle at the end of Victory Road exists, and we lose due to the fact that we did not have a normal type in the team to counter Haunter. On our return to Johto, I decided to catch a Ditto and breed it with Omastar to get another Omanyte for the team. While I hatch Omanyte, I discover this cool retro TV/fisheye filter that I can record with. So here's a short biking montage of me and Pokemon Emerald I made while I was waiting for this egg to hatch. I grab Pidgey out of the PC box to defeat Silver's Haunter. The AI is smart enough to recognize that we want it to use Curse, however it isn't capable of stopping us. After just a few unsuccessful attempts at Will, who is one of the most difficult Elite Four members due to the move Psychic existing, I decide to level the entire team to level 80. With the extra levels, we limp past Will's Psychic type Pokemon, breeze through Koga's Poison type Pokemon, and arrive at Bruno's Fighting type Pokemon where Shuckle takes out a Machamp and earns a place in our hearts. Karen is next, and funny story, I kind of forgot she had a Gengar. However, fortunately for us, this Gengar knows Curse, and I choose to endure its 35 Lick Attacks and 5 Destiny Bonds in order to win the battle. Last but not least, we have the big cheese, Lance, and let me just tell you, Lance is very difficult. We fall short the first couple of times. However, I decide to take a look at my trusty calendar and notice that today is in fact Tuesday. Tuscany appears on Route 29 on Tuesdays, and she gives us another pink bow. Equipped with the extra pink bow and a couple of extra levels, we constrict our way through Lance's entire team. The main strategy of this battle is switching depending on which Dragonite is out, as one knows Blizzard and the other knows Thunder. We're crowned champions of the Johto League, and a part of me fears that will be all we'll be able to accomplish. Our journey to Kanto is short but eventful. The team struggles with its arch nemesis at this point, Magneton. What's worse is that this Magneton of LT Surges also knows Double Team. Then we have to deal with an Alakazam that knows Psychic and Recover. But then something strange happens. As I go to return the machine part to the power plant manager, all my key items seemingly disappear. The machine part appears under the cancel option, which is strange. I wasn't sure what caused the glitch. It may have had something to do with changing the starter, but I doubt that. I loaded up a previous save file and noticed that all my key items disappear as soon as I find the little girl in the SS Aqua. This puts the run in an extremely bad spot, as I need to return the machine part in order to defeat the remaining gym leaders of Kanto and access Mount Silver. Seeing as Red is the only important battle left in the game, I decide to use external means to gain access to Mount Silver. I wasn't about to throw away hundreds of hours to not even be able to challenge Red. Just don't tell anybody though. Let's keep it between you and I. Now, in our exploration of Kanto, I acquire 3 very important items. They're all leftovers. 2 are from Snorlax, and 1 is from the Celadon restaurant. So it actually turns out there's only 1 Snorlax in Pokemon Crystal, however it is possible to acquire 3rd leftovers by trading a Snorlax or Clefable from a first generation game. So let's just assume I did that, because the 3rd leftovers is super important. So with the entire team at level 100, leftovers are given to Shuckle, Omastar, and Tentacruel. The other Omastar and Ariados have the pink bows. We battle with Red. For Pikachu, I open with Tangela and switch to Shuckle once it starts using Thunder. Shuckle tanks Thunder and the Thunderbolts really well and is able to take out Pikachu with a fair bit of health left. Blastoise comes out next. We counter it with Tentacruel. Tentacruel breezes past Blastoise with a lot of health left as Blastoise's Surf barely hits more than Tentacruel heals back with the leftovers. Next up, Espeon, and I actually make the mistake of not switching to Tangela immediately. The goal with Espeon is to have Shuckle and Tangela tank as many Psychics as possible. If there are any left, the Omastar with leftovers tanks the rest. When Espeon runs out of Psychic, Tentacruel cleans it up as all it uses is Mud Slap and Swift. And then comes out Snorlax. Snorlax requires quite a bit of finesse. Firstly, we send out the Omastar with leftovers in order to tank all 15 Body Slams. Omastar's typing allows it to excel here. After Snorlax is out of Body Slams, it starts to spam Rest and Snore. We switch between Omastar and Tentacruel in order to use the least amount of Constricts possible, as they'll be needed later and I can't use an item to replenish their power points, as there are no items allowed in battle. Once it runs out of Snores, the Pink Bow Omastar is then sent in to finish Snorlax and waits until it runs out of Rest. Next is Venusaur, which is met with Ariados. Venusaur's moveset is fairly strong, however it doesn't have a lot of power points, meaning that Venusaur will tend to use struggle. With Ariados absorbing as many Solar Beams as possible, Tentacruel wastes Venusaur's Giga Drains whilst the Pink Bow Omastar defeats it as it struggles itself out. And all that's left for us is Charizard. Ideally, we want the leftovers Omastar to have been paralysed by one of Snorlax's 15 Body Slams. This wasn't the case in this battle, however. Charizard burns leftovers Omastar and uses all its flamethrowers on it before defeating it. It's important to note that it used all its flamethrowers, as now our last Pokemon, Tentacruel, cannot be burnt. With 7 Constricts remaining and 246 health, Tentacruel takes out Charizard and we win the battle. Red is defeated, the challenge is complete. If you were ever wondering, is it possible to beat Pokemon Crystal with only using Constrict and having no items in battle? The answer is yes, but with the tiny asterisk stating that you have to use Tail Whip against Morty and also have a Gen 1 game to transfer over a Snorlax or a Clefable so you could get the leftovers. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. There are some other videos on the screen where I do similar challenges in other Pokemon games. Check them out if you want to. I'll see you guys later, have fun, stay safe.